Welcome to Storytime, brought to you by the OWSCyCon2019, the online book event of the year. Just after midnight, Danny's beat-up Mustang convertible pulled into my driveway. With a turn of the key, he silenced the soft rumble of the engine before leaning over to kiss my cheek. Happy birthday, Beth. A gust of humid summer air tousled my hair. As I tucked the strands behind my ears, I gave his shoulder a nudge. That's number 7. You can stop now. He grinned, calling forth a set of adorable dimples. 17 is going to be epic. Feel any different? Danny was such a dweeb. You're acting like I won the lottery. He pursed his lips and gave a slow nod. Now that would be truly epic. Yeah, I responded, my gaze drifting toward my open bedroom window. The moon hung low in the sky, peeking through the trees surrounding my house, but complete darkness lurked behind the curtains. I squinted. I could have sworn I'd left the light on. You're thinking about it, aren't you? Danny mumbled, but his words emerged loud enough for my ears to catch their meaning. His use of the word it scratched at my bones like nails on a chalkboard. I twisted in my seat to face him. Don't call him that. Tensing his jaw, Danny fixed his gaze on me. What should I call it? It's mist, Beth. It's not human. He breathed a little easier, the rosy red returning to his cheeks. I get it. It's been around for most of your life, but so have I. And you can see me, touch me, and talk to me. I bit my tongue and swallowed my smart-ass remark. Danny was right, yet I didn't care. The mist's voiceless gestures had conquered my heart. Closing my eyes, I sat quietly, listening to the crickets sing like drunken fools. When we'd been kids, the mist had drawn Danny in, like any addict. He'd dubbed the shapeless mass Commander Vapor, his superhero. Every night of our childhood, Danny had camped out in front of my bedroom window, his eyes bulging from their sockets as he waited for the mist to appear. It can't give you what I can, Danny pressed, breaking through the memories. You're wrong, Danny. Opening my eyes, I turned towards him. I didn't say a word, just stared at him in silence. He squirmed and looked away like a dog being reprimanded by his master. I slouched down in my seat as I said, The mist is part of me. I can't let go. I don't know how to. Danny inched closer, narrowing the gap between us. I'm not asking you to let go. He touched my hand. Just give me a chance. The corners of his lips pulled upward to form a toothy grin. You and I have things in common. I blinked and cocked my head. Like what? I collect shoes. You collect creepy bugs. I read poetry. You read comic books. I paint, you play paintball. Shrugging his shoulders, he fired back. We're both 17, next-door neighbours, and go to Emory High. I smirked. None of those things were shared interests. Nice try. He lifted his chin and snapped his fingers. Got it. We're near doppelgangers. My eyes are greenish-blue, and your shade mimics the sea. I'm covered in freckles, while you have just a few sprinkled across your nose. I'm a carrot top to your apple red. I eyed him, letting his words sink in. Danny's lips quivered, making it impossible to keep a straight face. Exploding with laughter, we fell into each other, our foreheads colliding. He curled a strand of my hair around his fingers. Give me a chance. I stiffened and pulled away. I care about you, Danny, but we're... Bobbing his head, he finished my sentence. Just friends, I know. But I may be able to change your mind. He tapped his temple. I've been doing some research. Found some pretty interesting stuff in my comic books. I clamped my lips shut. Comic books research. This should be good. He held up his hand. Hear me out. I mean, we're dealing with mist that forms into a man. Comic books aren't such a far stretch. He had a point. I'm all ears. I've narrowed the possibilities down to 3 types of being. His expression screamed, wait for it. Just like when our science teacher, Mr. Mayer, hesitated after every word, letting the anticipation build. An alien, a warlock, or a vampire. He paused before adding, in comic books, all 3 can turn their bodies into mist. You should ask him which of the 3 he is. His words crept across the surface of my brain. The nagging itch to do just as he suggested filled me. I have to know, I thought as I pushed the car door open, stepped into my driveway. Danny flashed to my side, taking my hand. Let me come with you? I didn't look at him, my gaze fixed instead on my bedroom window. No. I dropped his hand. Go home, Danny. I'll see you tomorrow. As an afterthought, I faced him and pressed my hand over my heart. Thanks for making my 17th birthday special. His lips stretched into a goofy grin. I love you, Beth. I couldn't say it back because I didn't love him. Forcing a smile, I backed along the driveway and up to the porch. As I turned and opened the front door, the Mustang's engine whined to life again. I waved to Danny as I slipped inside, closing the door behind me. In the darkness, I climbed the drab carpeted stairs. My mother wasn't one for colour. Muted grey decor claimed every surface of our home. She called it modern. I called it boring. In contrast, my cotton candy pink bedroom screamed of my personality. Danny called it the Pink Palace, and the space was my palace. My bedroom door stood ajar, releasing the scent of dewy rosebuds. Inhaling the intoxicating air made my head spin. I inched closer, running my hand along the wall and peering through the partially open door. The mist drifted past the opening and my heart jumped into my throat. Pushing the door wide, I hurried inside and flicked the light on. Red rose petals cascaded like a waterfall of blood from my bed's comforter onto the carpet. I opened my mouth, but no sound escaped me, and my feet seemed rooted to the floor. He'd prepared this surprise for me, for my birthday. I struggled to catch my breath. I shut the door, closing us off from the world outside. The mist shifted to form the silhouette of a man who glided across my room towards my bed. His translucent finger pointed to a pink sheet of folded paper resting on my pillow. My palms tingled in anticipation of clutching up the filmy page. Could it be a love letter? I ran to my bed, scooped the pink note into my hands, and fell backward onto the silky blanket of rose petals. They fluttered around me, caressing my skin as gravity called them back. I bit my lip as I stroked the coarse paper between my fingers before opening it. My gaze roamed over the page. If I had to choose whether to breathe or to love you, I would use my last breath to tell you, I love you. The paper trembled in my grasp, his words blurring inside my tears. He loved me, and I him. I rose to my feet to face the mist, my mouth dry as a jar full of cotton balls. I forced out each of my words. What are you? He waved his hand over the petals, spinning them faster and faster. As they came to rest upon my bedding, a letter began to take shape, becoming a V. Others followed, creating sense from chaos. My small human life shrunk into the background. All that remained in that moment was the word vampire. This story time was read by Timothy Bateson and brought to you in conjunction with the OWSCyCon 2019. OWSCyCon runs from May 17th through May 19th. You can find us at OWSCyCon.OurRightSide.com. Again, OWSCyCon.OurRightSide.com. We have events happening across all genres. If you are a reader, you cannot afford to miss this event. You never know. You may just find your next best read.